Yo, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what to do if your parent or parents do not support your decision to join or to serve the United States military. Now, this video is primarily geared towards 17-year-olds who absolutely need their parents' approval in order to be able to join, but this could also relate to 17 to say like 20 to 21-year-olds who really want their parents' approval and support in their decision to serve. So with my over 16 years of recruiting experience, I've never had a parent tell me no, okay? So I've always changed a hell no, my son or daughter will not join, do not pass go, do not collect $200, to I don't like the idea, but I'll support their decision to serve. So stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I recommend, what you should do in order to get your parents' buy-in on your decision to serve. So stay tuned. What's up everybody? Welcome back to Team SWARTZ. And if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Here I post a ton of Army basic training tips, recruiting, and other Army related videos. So if that's what you're into, consider subscribing to this channel, hitting that bell icon, and turning on all notifications so you don't miss anything. I'm Sergeant First Class SWARTZ, your local New York Army National Guard's full-time recruiter and part-time drill sergeant with our Recruit Sustainment program located here in New York City. With that being said, if you happen to live in New York and would like to know how the National Guard can help you, you can start now by shooting me a text, get started, to this number with no obligation to join. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Having your parents' approval in general, if you're between 17 to 20, maybe 21, in my opinion, is pretty important. And we should get that if we at all possible, especially if you're a 17-year-old, because you need their approval. You don't necessarily need their approval to join, but we do need them to sign off on a couple of documents in order for you to take the medical exam and to complete it. Because without the medical exam, you can't complete your processing to join the Army, okay? Sitting down or sharing your idea of joining the military without first researching and gaining more information and sitting down with a recruiter is merely just an idea. And in most cases, parents will shoot you down, especially if they're ignorant or have not really gained a thorough understanding of the opportunities that we have to offer you. And some of them will savagely turn you down. The problem is you're not backing up your idea with your why and a well thought out plan. And that's what this video is all about. So what I recommend to you, if you want to win your parents over or to get their buy-in to your decision to serve or to join, is to first do your research by checking out official websites, writing down everything that you have questions about. Write down every single question you may have. Write down the good things you like about that component of the Army or branch of the military, and write down the things that you don't like, and ask questions around that to gain further understanding. Figure out your why. Why do you want to join in the first place? And can this component of the Army or branch of service provide that? And what are the pros and cons, in your opinion, for your reasons and your reasons alone? Knowing your why, gathering up all your questions so that you can A, sit down with a recruiter, which is your next step. Sit down with a recruiter with all your predetermined questions that you're going to ask during the interview process. Now, there's pros and cons to letting them know that you're shopping around if you are in fact interested in checking out other components of the Army or branches of the military. If you tell your recruiter that you're shopping around, they're going to sell really hard, which is great. That's what we do as recruiters. We are here to show you the advantages of joining our component of the Army or branch of service. One red flag for you as the applicant is not all recruiters are alike. Not all of them are like me. I'm going to support your decision no matter where you decide to go. With that being said, if a recruiter resorts to bashing the other component of the Army or branch of service, they are not in fact confident in what they have to sell to you, and they are resorting to toxic recruiting tactics. I would not trust a recruiter if all they're going to say was, oh, the National Guard is this, or National Guard is that, or the Navy is this, the Air Force is that. Bottom line is, we are All excellent options. But the question is, what's right for you, for your reasons and your reasons alone, which is why I have you researching every avenue or opportunity at your disposal. That's where your key questions come in place. So you can tell them that you're shopping around. That'll motivate them to sell you more. You don't want them selling you. You want them sharing with you how they can help you reach your goals. And that's why it's important to know your why. What is your deal breaker to join that branch of service, and asking all those questions that you already determined. After that, you could talk to military YouTubers like myself or other current or prior service members who have served or currently serving and sharing their experiences and maybe asking your questions to them as well to get a feel of what their experience is like. Now, heed some warning when talking to in-service or prior service individuals, because there are three types. Ones that love it, ones that hate it, and others that are indifferent. 9 out of 10 times, ones that hated their experience in the military were probably lied to or misled or failed to do their homework and research like you're doing right now. And that is, they were sold a particular expectation of what they're going to go through and experience, and when they actually get there, it's completely different because they failed themselves to do a simple Google search or to talk to people that are currently serving or have served. Now, sometimes recruiters, do dupe people, and that's why you're not going to get duped, because you're here on my channel and I'm going to give it to you straight, real, and raw. So, take it with a grain of salt with whatever you get from whoever you're talking to, okay? So now that you've sat down with a recruiter or recruiters, spoken to military YouTubers if they actually took the time to converse with you, and or talking to in-service or prior service individuals, lay everything on the table. Assess what you now know. You have gathered all the necessary information to make a well-informed decision. I need you at this point to narrow your component of the Army or branch of military that you actually want to commit to. Once you've determined that, commit and follow through. Now, if you find yourself stuck between one or two options, roughly, right, just for this example, and you are having a difficult time deciding this branch or this branch, grab 2 pieces of paper, draw a line down the middle, and put pros and cons in either side for each branch. Remember your deal breakers, remember your why, and writing all the good things and not so good things about that branch of service that you do or don't like. That may help you have a visual of which one has the most pros and which one has the most cons, and take that from there. It helped me, it helped one of my other soldiers, and this is a method that I use with my applicants who are basically shopping around to help them decide which is best for them. Sometimes it's with the National Guard, sometimes it's with other branches of services. I've walked people to the Navy, to the Marine Corps, to active Army, and so on, okay? At the end of the day, it's taking care of the applicant, which is you, right? So finding a good recruiter is extremely important, okay? So if a recruiter says this recruiter is really, really good, but more importantly, because that could be, if you know somebody who joined the service and they love their recruiter and they speak very, very highly of them, that means they're probably a really good recruiter and you should work with that recruiter. So now that you've identified your branch of service that you want to join, contact that recruiter and tell them that you want to take the next step, which is to take the ASVAB test. At this point, you've probably more than likely have already taken the practice test at the office and or the PICAT test, which can be used for records, so on and so forth. I did a video on the PICAT. If you want to know what that's about, you can check out that video right up here. But with that being said, schedule yourself for the ASVAB test, right? You don't need your parents' approval to take the ASVAB test. The test tells us, A, can you sign a contract by scoring at 31% or better, and which job skills we can offer you through line scores. If you don't know what your AFQT or the line scores mean, I did a video on the ASVAB test. I'll put an icon right up here for you to click and check out, and I explain what is the ASVAB test based on, so that you have a better understanding of what you're getting yourself into. With that being said, once you've identified the MOSs and or opportunities and incentives, if any, that you qualify for, now that your recruiter has gotten to know you, ask all the different questions, what your goals are, and so on and so forth, and they'll marry up what your component of the Army or branch of service can help you to reach your goals faster, cheaper, and better, okay? And providing job experience, training, so on and so forth, even possibly certifications. by joining the service and so on and so forth. It's really important to be honest with your recruiter because they're going to be digging into everything about your life. And just because you say, oh, college is important to me. Well, why? Because I want to get a degree in criminal justice. We're going to be digging even further, like why is that important to you? And we're going to be digging deeper and deeper and deeper to figure out that why so that we can figure out a game plan to present to your parents a very compelling presentation to get them to have that buy-in to your decision to serve. So now at this point, you've done your research, you've sat down with recruiters, you've taken the test, you know exactly what you're pre-qualified for. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get it, but we have a really, really good idea of what we can specifically offer you as a recruiter. So you can either A, talk to your parents alone and so on and then take it from there, or you can let your parents know that you wanna serve and you have or would like to schedule an appointment with your recruiter so that you can all discuss it and that your recruiter can not only share with you who we are, what we do, and what we're going to offer you based on our conversation, but they're going to present the best picture possible for you and be able to address any concern or concerns that they have for you. Your parents love you and they only want the best for you. And joining the military is a big decision. It's not something that you're going to take lightly. It's a life decision. Okay? It's a big boy, big girl decision. It's not the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts. You're joining the military, okay? So with that being said, by the time you sit down with your parents, it's not just an idea, right? You're backing up your idea with your why and an actual game plan with a well thought out process of presenting to your parents how we're actually going to support you and your parents in your new career path and what you're about to embark on. And of course, we will dispel myths or any other misconceptions that they have about the military. I will say that the majority of the concerns that parents have are deployments, death, and not having enough time to accomplish your goals, mainly college. So that's how I will present it to your parents. I figure out your why. Why is it that you want to join? What are your goals, how we can help you reach your goals, and why that's important that we're helping you rather than you doing it by yourself. So depending on your goals, by joining the service is going to make things cheaper and faster and easier for you to get to your goals versus doing it on your own and or with your parents. It's really, really important that we know what your parents' concerns are because sometimes, you know, some things are off the wall and we're like surprised, and it's just easier and better to know what their concerns are prior to so we can have an appropriate response and not be surprised and react and be more proactive, so to speak. So with me personally, once we've knocked all that out of the way and we've actually set a time frame where we're going to sit down with mom and dad either at our office or even at home at the kitchen table or dining room table, I will obviously introduce myself, shake their hands, all that good stuff, some quick pleasantries and everything. And then once we get down to business where we're about to actually discuss your decision to serve, I always let them know ahead of time that I'm about to show them either on my phone or on their TV if I can like Bluetooth it or something on like Apple TV or something. I tell them that I have about a 4-minute clip that I want to show you. It's really, really outdated. It was back around Hurricane Katrina time frame in like the mid-2000s, but it is a very, very good depiction visually of who we are and what we do. And from there, I will elaborate more on who we are, what we do, and go into what we had to offer you based on how I got to know your son or daughter. And they always agree to it. Okay, fine, great. And I will present to them this video. What I really, really love about this video is how genuine the responses are of these soldiers that are being interviewed throughout this motivational and inspirational video. And it just moves you. Like, I just extended, and I already want to extend it again because I just rewatched it the other day, and I'm about to show it to you in a moment here. But it's a very heartfelt, great video. It's, in my opinion, the best video ad the Army National Guard has ever done that gets you on an emotional level. And this is the video. Please enjoy.
The country has a need, you drop what you're doing and you go support.
I think the National Guard has two missions: protect the United States in a time of a crisis, and also right there at home with your neighbors and your community in the state of an emergency.
Those are the times when you see the true colors.
When the community is overrun with tragedies, they look to the National Guardsmen.
This guy is a computer programmer, this guy's a police officer, this guy's a doctor. They bring those skills into their National Guard job, and it just makes everybody better at it.
They had their civilian career and their family, and then literally change clothes, and they become a soldier.
The thing is, they can be called on at any time, and they gratefully come forward and do that.
We got kind of a mix here. Guys that's been traditional Guard all the way through. About half of us have had active duty, but the goals are pretty much the same.
This is the Army National Guard. Is anyone home?
Everything that we knew and loved about New Orleans had changed.
One particular instance that will always stick with me is a young female soldier who lost her own home, but still stayed here on duty, helping her fellow citizens.
The states surrounding us and the states across the country all responded to a neighbor in need, being Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. They came here in our time of need and supported us, and we will go wherever in their time of need to support them. That's our mission, and that's what we'll do.
And we know the sacrifices, we know the consequences. We don't have a safe job, and we're all willing to accept that.
It's an everyday process. The new guys come in, old guys like me going out, and hey, that's what it's supposed to be, you know.
When I talk to young soldiers, I tell them the truth. If you don't know who you are, you'll find out who you are real fast in the National Guard.
I was active duty for 12, 13 years, and what I did on active duty, I do the same in the National Guard, or even more so.
It makes you see the world as a whole because you travel around to other countries. You bring the insights that you encounter home and share those with people. And you can actually shed some light on a broader perspective of what's going on in the world because you've been there, done that, lived it, worked it. It's an amazing place. It's an amazing organization, and I hope my sons join it as well.
I finally found a place where I fit in, that I've accepted. I mean, they're my family. I'd do anything for them.
This is a oath, a commitment that I took, that I fully understand. I volunteer for this.
It's very real. I mean, one day you could be doing search and rescues. The next day you could be asked to go on a deployment overseas.
You have to be ready to respond to the call at any time, be it at home, be it overseas.
The National Guard is rock solid because we care. We believe in giving back to the country that gives us so much. And we live in the best country in the world. Why not fight to protect it?
National Guard members are our sons and our daughters, our neighbors, our co-workers. It's almost the DNA of America.
Wow. You see what I mean? It is a phenomenal video. It is not cheesy. It doesn't come off as scripted like the majority of the videos that come out. Like I said, it's very heartfelt, and I hope you enjoyed that video. It's just 4 minutes, and that's what I present to your parents before elaborating and going through everything that I said that we would discuss with your parents. So I explained to them who we are, what we do, how we work 1 week in a month, how Army basic training works, your job training, the various positions that you are pre-qualified for based on your test results, and knowing your goals. You know, Johnny Snot-Nosed goals are X, Y, Z, and we're going to utilize ABC to help you reach those goals, which is going to help you, Mom and Dad, because you're not going to have to take out student loans and so on and so forth, or whatever your goals are, how we're going to help you get there cheaper, faster, and better, right? And by addressing their concerns in the middle of that conversation is going to help out. And if they don't state their concerns and I know them ahead of time, I'm going to intertwine that in my presentation to your parents. And that always helps out greatly. And if they don't share their concerns, I will ask them at the very end. I always ask regardless, even if I address their predetermined concerns. Are there any additional questions or concerns that you may have? From a scale 1 to 10, 10 meaning I'm gonna support and sign off on the paperwork, or 0, like I don't give an F, they're not signing. over my dead body. And like I said, I've never had a parent tell me no by following this formula. Like I said, I've always changed it from hell no, my son or daughter won't go to I don't like the idea, but I'll support their decision ultimately. And they always sign off on the paperwork right there on the spot. Not one parent has told me no. Also, having a good recruiter that actually gives an F definitely helps to get the buy-in from your parents, someone who's actually going to put in that effort to thoroughly explain everything in an empathetic and supportive way to your parents without any judgment or any animosity or resistance. Some recruiters, like active duty recruiters who are forced into recruiting and are just there to check the box and do their job, may not go that extra mile for you and put in that extra effort to take care of you as their applicant. Again, like I said, not all recruiters are alike. In any profession that you're in, there are always people that are overachievers. But with that being said, I almost forgot I had to hop back on here and chat a little bit more because, you know, there's a very important ingredient that I completely forgot to bring up in this video. And without this ingredient, we're wasting our time as your recruiter. So with that being said, you have to be 200% sure, committed, and invested into your decision to join, because otherwise we as your recruiter are wasting our time conversing with your parent and persuading them to support your idea of joining the military. So without you, yourself, your own personal buy-in and commitment and conviction of you impressing upon your parents that this is extremely important to you and that you're essentially going to make the decision with or without them at some point. Because if your parents have any sort of resistance to your desire to serve or to join, and they don't feel that you yourself aren't committed to the idea, then they're going to turn down their approval or support of your decision to join. And then we get those wishy-washy applicants that are like, well, my mommy and daddy don't want me to join. I know I'm of age, I know I'm 18 and older, I can make my own decision, but because my mommy and daddy don't want me to join, I'm not going to join. Which tells us as your recruiter that you yourself were not even sold in the first place, thus wasting everyone's time. So with that being said, be committed for yourself, not for us. We're going to do our jobs. We're going to talk to your parents because that is our responsibility. We want their buy-in, their approval and support. But without your ingredient of commitment and conviction of that desire to join, it's useless. I wish you the best, and if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Hit me up on my direct messages on Instagram. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor, drop a hashtag Team SWARTZ, like this video, smash it if that's something you're into, and I'll see you in the next video. Hold up, wait a minute, like this video and follow me on social, and while you're at it, go ahead and check out one of my other videos right over here. Just pick one. They're pretty cool. I mean, I liked it. I mean, I was in it. Spoiler alert. I teach you something. Just saying.